I approached him slowly, my voice trembling. You must be Wallenbe. The old man nodded slowly, a sad smile playing on his lips. Why have you come here, David Harris? Hello everybody. Sorry I haven't uploaded in about a week. I promise I'm not quitting this, I told everybody from the start that this is what I want to do. And then I'm gonna keep doing it, but things happen in life where I couldn't upload throughout this past week. That was in my control and out of my control. And also I ended up getting sick. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. And on top of that, as of this recording today, when it's uploaded, yesterday, I was flying all day to come back home to North Carolina. And I'm only saying that because when things happen in life, you don't want a small setback to stop you from your dreams and your goals, So I'm only saying that to tell you this, that now, since I am home in North Carolina, I have more time than ever to create videos and work on them even more, to flourish them out, but to also create more stories in one day. That's what I plan on doing for y'all. So I'm not going to make this promise of 2 uploads a day, but if you start to see 2 uploads a day, then this is the reason why. I believe I can change my life with the things that I love and I do, like making stories every day. Also too, we're almost at 25 subscribers in 1 week. Can you believe that? So thank you to everybody who continues to stop by and check out my stories. And if you continue to like these stories, make sure to comment, help out the engagement on whatever platform you're listening on. And then on YouTube, make sure to subscribe as well. And then on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to hit that follow button and like the podcast. But like I said, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. Also too, I'm from North Carolina, so I don't know, in the background you can hear the cicadas. But in my room that I'm recording in, I have my windows open, so hopefully you don't hear it, and hopefully the neighbors aren't too loud. Also, one last thing, the smoke detector. All right, it's come numb to me, but if it is coming up during the recording, I'll try to edit out as much as I can. But yeah, that's enough about me. Let's go and get into today's story. In this story, a hunter named Mpobe from Uganda has a dog that accompanies him in the jungle, where the dense vegetation makes it easy to lose track of the dog. To avoid this, Mpobe ties a bell to his dog. While hunting, the dog chases a small animal called a musu, leading Mpobe deep into the jungle and eventually into a tunnel that leads them to the center of the earth. There, Mpobe discovers a beautiful land filled with gardens, rivers, and livestock. The musu and dog lead him to a country yard where he meets an old man named Wallenbe, who reveals that this underground world is the land of death. Wallenbe explains that once someone enters, they can never leave, but Mpobe pleads to return to say goodbye to his loved ones. Wallenbe agrees on the condition that Mpobe must never reveal what he has seen. Mpobe returns home, where his family is relieved to see him after 3 days. They repeatedly ask where he had been, but Mpobe only says he got lost while hunting. Eventually, his mother convinces him to share the truth, promising to keep it a secret. That night, Wallenbe calls out to Mpobe, reminding him that he broke his promise. Wallenbe takes Mpobe away, and despite his family's search, they never find the tunnel or see Wallenbe again. Hopefully the story of Mpobe the Hunter gave you more of a background on the character itself, how the character will play in this story. I ain't gonna lie, you just got to find out. Alright, if you made it this far, you got a good story for you today. So once again, thank you for stopping by, checking out my video. If you hear something like something underwater, I ain't gonna lie, I don't have my mic stand. Alright, I couldn't get it on the plane, so I'm handheld in my mic right now. So if that audio sounds off too, I apologize. Alright, but I'm still gonna get y'all these stories every day. And that's enough of me talking, man. I'm wasting too much of y'all time, You got a full day ahead of yourself. So let's go ahead and begin today's story. Beneath the Earth's Veil is an original short story by Tashawn Fonteneaux. August 5th, 2024. The jungle was more daunting than I had imagined. The air was thick with moisture, and the sound of life all around us felt like a living, breathing entity. Juma moved with purpose, his machete slicing through the dense undergrowth. I stumbled after him, my camera bag bouncing against my side. "How much farther?" I asked, trying to keep up. "Not long," Juma replied without looking back. "But I must warn you, Mr. Harris, what you find may not be what you expect. This place, it's just not a tunnel, it's a gateway." "A gateway to what?" Juma paused, turning to face me. "To a world that is not meant for the living." I frowned. "You sound like you believe this story." "Believe?" Juma's eyes darkened. "I've seen things in this jungle that will turn your blood to ice, Mr. Harris. There are places in the world that hold secrets better left buried." I didn't respond, my mind racing. The way Juma spoke, the certainty in his voice, it made me uneasy, but I had come too far to turn back now. We pressed on, the jungle closing in around us like a green, suffocating blanket. Finally, after what felt like hours, Juma stopped. He pointed ahead where a large, moss-covered boulder sat in the middle of a small clearing. "There it is," he said, "the entrance." I approached the boulder cautiously, my heart pounding. At first, it seemed like just a rock, but then I saw it, a dark opening, just large enough for a person to crawl through. "Are you coming with me?" I asked, turning to Juma. He shook his head, his expression grim. "No, sir. This is where I wait. If you find what you're looking for, I'll be here when you return." I swallowed hard, then crouched down and crawled into the tunnel. The darkness swallowed me whole. August 6, 2024. The tunnel seemed endless. My hands scraped against the rough walls as I crawled forward, the air growing colder with each passing minute. I could hear my breath, ragged and loud, echoing around me. The claustrophobia was overwhelming, but I forced myself to keep moving. This was my story, my truth. After what felt like hours, the tunnel opened up into a vast underground chamber, but I gasped in awe. It was just as the story described, a hidden world beneath the earth, a place of impossible beauty. Rivers of molten gold snaked through the lush gardens, where bizarre, glowing plants and trees thrived. Strange, otherworldly creatures grazed in the fields, their eyes reflecting the golden light. As I wandered through the alien landscape, I felt an uneasy sense of being watched. Every shadow seemed to hold a lurking presence. Every rustle in the foliage made me jump. Then I saw him, the old man from Mpobe's tale, sitting in the center of the courtyard, his eyes, hollow and dark, locked onto mine, and I felt a chill run down my spine. I approached him slowly, my voice trembling. You must be Wallenbay." The old man nodded slowly, a sad smile playing on his lips. Why have you come here, David Harris? What is it you seek?" I swallowed, my mouth dry. "I'm a journalist. I came to uncover the truth about this place." Wallenbay's smile faded. "The truth? It's a heavy burden, David. Are you certain you wish to carry it?" I hesitated, the weight of his words pressing down on me, while my curiosity, my drive to uncover the unknown, was stronger. "Yes," I said firmly. "I have to know." Wallenbay sighed, rising slowly to his feet. "Very well. But remember this. Once you leave this place, you cannot speak of what you have seen. The truth must remain hidden, or I will come for you, just as I came for Mpobe." I nodded, the gravity of his warning sinking in. Wallenbay turned and led me to another tunnel, guiding me back to the surface. As I crawled through the darkness once more, I felt an overwhelming sense of loss, as if I were leaving behind something vital, something I could never retrieve. August 7th, 2024. The sunlight was blinding as I emerged from the tunnel, the cool air of the jungle, a sharp contrast to the warmth below. Juma was waiting for me, his expression a mix of curiosity and concern. "You found it, didn't you?" he asked quietly. I nodded, unable to find the words. How could I describe what I had seen? How could I explain the wonder and terror that now filled my mind? I simply couldn't, not without risking everything. Juma didn't press me further as we made our way back to the village, but the silence between us was heavy with unspoken words, and I could feel the weight of Wallenbay's warning bearing down on me. That night, as I lay in my small hut, sleep evaded me. The images of the underground world replayed in my mind, each one more vivid than the last. I wanted to tell someone, anyone, about what I had seen, but I knew I couldn't. Wallabe's voice echoed in my thoughts, his warning clear and unyielding. August 8th, 2024. The pressure was unbearable. I had to tell someone, anyone. The truth was clawing at my insides, demanding to be released. I called my editor, my fingers trembling as I dialed his number. "Tom, it's David. I found it," I began, my voice shaking. "The tunnel, the world beneath the earth, it's real. I saw it." But as soon as the words left my mouth, I heard it, the soft, haunting voice of Wallabe calling my name. "David. David." My blood ran cold. I dropped the phone, stumbling back as the voice grew louder. "Closer. You broke your promise, David. Now you must return." Panic gripped me as I bolted from the hut, plunging into the jungle. The darkness was thick, suffocating, and the voice followed me, relentless and cold. "David. David." I ran blindly, terror clawing at my mind, but I knew it was futile. Wallabe had warned me, and now he was here to claim what was his. I could feel his presence behind me, cold and inevitable. Finally, exhausted and broken, I collapsed to the ground. The jungle was silent around me, the only sound my ragged breath. Then I felt it, a cold hand on my shoulder, pull me back into the darkness, into the earth. And as the world above faded away, I understood at last, some truths are too dangerous to share. Some secrets are meant to stay buried, deep within the earth, where they belong. Thank you for listening in on today's story titled Beneath the Earth's Veil, original short story by Tashawn Fonteneaux. Before we end off on today's story though, I wanted to leave y'all with 3 questions to help y'all ponder and think on more of the story. You can discuss with the people around you, but also you can discuss how you feel down below in the comments or whatever platform you're listening on. So my first question is, if you were in David's shoes, would you have risked uncovering the truth about the underground world, or would you have heeded the warnings and walked away? My second question, what do you think Wallabe's true intentions were? Was he protecting the world above, or guarding something even darker? And lastly, how do you interpret how do you interpret the ending? Do you believe David's fate was sealed the moment he entered the tunnel, or could he have avoided it? Me personally, what I think on the story is that David was too curious to the point where it took his life. Curiosity killed the cat at the end of the day. That's why that saying is the saying it is. And, some things just shouldn't be messed with in life. I know this is like a folktale / myth, so it's up to your interpretation to believe if what the information I gave you is truly real or not. But also you can use this in day-to-day life. Don't go snooping around places that you don't belong. Because you mess around, you might get got. All right, long story short. But once again, thank you for checking out today's story titled Beneath the Earth's Veil. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube and like today's video. If you're tuning in on your favorite podcast directory like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to like or favorite today's episode and hit that follow button. I post daily stories to keep you up at night, so if you have a folklore, myth, or legend in mind that you want me to write about, let me know down below in the comments. My name is Tashawn, and I'm chronically writing, and I continue to write daily to better my penmanship. So check out this video right here to hear more of my original stories.